Okay, so this is the final part of my tutorial, and this is just going to be about roaming user profiles. So basically, if you log onto one computer, log off and then log onto another computer, all of your settings, files, permissions, or more so settings and files will be taken with you. So for example, if you change your desktop background, it's going to follow you to a new location if you log on somewhere else. So in order to configure this, you need to go to the domain controller server to start with. You need to go to Active Directory users and computers, which you can access from Start, Administrative Tools, and by going to Active Directory users and computers. I currently have a user called Student1, as we've used throughout this pretty much the entire tutorial. So I'm going to double click on Student1, and under the under the Profile tab, you can specify a profile path. Now this is a network location, it has to be a network location where the files for that particular user are stored, so that when they log onto another computer, the computer will look at this profile path location, find all of its users' content, and drag it all back out onto the computer. So I'll show you how this works. For this to work, you need to have a shared location on the server. So I'm going to go into the server C drive. I'm going to make a new folder called roaming-users. I'm going to open that folder, and then I'm going to make another new folder and call it student1, because that's the student's username, so it just makes sense to call it student1. Now I'm going to right click student1, and I'm going to click on properties. I'm going to click on sharing and advanced sharing, and I'm going to click share this folder, and then I'm going to click permissions. Now this is saying who can access this folder on the network, because it's a shared folder. Now we don't want everybody to access it, because this is this user's personal files, so we want to remove everybody, and then we want to add just that individual user, which is student1. And if you press OK, there you go, student1 has been added and can share and see this folder over the network, because it's not stored on any local computer, it's stored within the server. You also want to give this user full control, because otherwise it won't work correctly and it won't be able to drag its content down properly. So full control, press apply. That user is now able to view everything within this folder that's shared, which is exactly what we want. And then just press OK. It's automatically created the network path, which is the shared location from any computer on the network. Now if another user tried to access this location, it would say access denied, because only user 1 is able to access this folder. So we're just going to copy the network path. We're going to go back into our Active Directory users and computers, and we're going to paste it under profile path. So now whenever that user logs in, it's going to search that location for its user's content. If it doesn't exist, it will create it. Any other user who tries to access that profile path will have an access denied message, because before, as you saw, we only allowed that particular user to access it with full permissions. You press apply, you press OK, and you can see at the moment the student1 file is empty. If we go to a computer here and log in as student1 with a password, if I can just get the password correct, that would be great. I tell you what, let me just try another one. Just bear with me, guys. Maybe it's that one. Ah, there you go. So if I try and log in as student, I can spell it. There you go, it lets me in straight away. And I don't think it'll have copied it over, but now you can see all of my documents are here. If I was to create a new folder and a Word document, and if I was to just close that and log off and go onto the server, if I press student1, you can see these folders are now populated with everything that I need to move around with. So for example, the My Documents folder has all of the documents I've just created. And now theoretically, if I go onto my other XP machine, which is this guy here, if I log in, this is another XP machine. Again, it brings down all the content, it logs me in, and now when I go to my documents, you can see all of the folders are still there. It's the same for changing desktop background. So if I was to change my desktop background and log off, oops, and then log back in with that guy. Oh no, it was user 1, wasn't it? User 1. No, it wasn't, it was student 1. There you go, you can see the background again has been kept. It's the same for saving things to the desktop. Basically, no matter where you move around, you'll be able to keep exactly the same content with you, which is good for places like schools, colleges, things like that. So you can have a look around yourself anyway, have a look around the users, add in a few more users, see if you can get things to work. Add in a few more groups and start creating policies for those groups. Somewhere on here, group policy manager. The best thing to do as well is just have a really good look through all of the policies that are available, because it's just like there is so much stuff that you can pretty much, you know, just sort of, it's just, the possibilities are pretty much endless of what you can do and how much you can limit things or unlimit things. You know how to promote a computer to a domain controller, you know how to add users, groups and computers, and you know how to create roaming user profiles so that the users are able to move around the network. Now when you're making the roaming user profiles, just make sure again that you assign the permissions correctly, because if you don't assign them correctly, it just won't work. And you can just give everybody access if you wanted to, but that's really not very secure for the network, because that means anybody who logs in will be able to access this person's file should they know the network path, which was // the server name, which I forgot what it was. I think it was Contoso server or something. As long as they knew that path, they'd be able to access other users' files, but because we've only allowed that one user in particular, it would just say access denied. So I think I've pretty much covered everything in this tutorial. I hope you've learned something from it. I hope it's been beneficial. If you've got any questions, issues, comments, problems, just let me know. You can send me an email or a message on YouTube. My website is www.davidashcroft.co.uk. My Twitter is @DavidAshcroftCo, and my Facebook is facebook.com/DavidAshcroftCoUK. And if you've liked what you've seen today and you've enjoyed this tutorial and it's been beneficial, please press the subscribe button, because hopefully I'll be doing a lot more in the future. And thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure speaking or tutoring you all today. Thanks again.